Hey guys, LevelCap here, and today is Monday, which means it's time for an episode of Loadout, the series where you guys, the viewers, get to help me pick and choose a custom kit configuration for each episode. The way you do this is you leave a comment in the comments section of this video, letting me know what kind of gun and accessories you'd like me to run with, and I will pick one of the top rated comments for the next episode. Today's top comment comes from Awkward Silence. He says, "How's this? M240B, the M145 3.4x scope, bipod extended mags, M1911 for your sidearm using claymores and squad suppression." And he says, "Let's mix it up, LevelCap. So far, the Loadout series has been about finding setups that fit your personal playstyle. That's fine, but let's see if we can discover some loadouts that are effective for other roles / playstyles besides your trademark run and gun." Now, for the most part, that's an accurate statement. I won't say that I only pick loadouts that I'm comfortable with, but I pick loadouts that I think are good and or effective. You know, I'll pick some PDWs and other things that I don't particularly like, but I'll try them out, you know, if I think that they're well thought out loadouts. Now, as for Bipod LMG, I've never liked the bipod because it involves basically just sitting in one place, and I think to get the best advantage as you can have in this game is to stay mobile, even if you are defending. Now, there's a few places in the maps that I would say bipod are really effective for. There's a few narrow corridors in Metro while you're defending that you can really hold off well. The N tunnel in Damavand Peak can be good for using a bipod LMG, but for the most part I would not prefer to use a bipod LMG. Although the cool thing about LMGs is that you can actually go prone and it makes them more accurate. A lot of guns don't receive a huge bonus from going prone, and check out this. This is a 6-kill spray right in here, and I finally go down. That's the nice thing about having extended mags, is you can really drop a lot of people if you get the jump on them. Now, I get plenty of loadout requests for the bipod, not as many, just asking me to run with a machine gun, potentially with a foregrip if the machine gun needs one, and I just hate the bipod, and here's my main problem with it. There's a lot of situations where I was like, alright, I'm going to set up this bipod and mow down this guy. As I'm setting up, they return fire, they take me out. You have to have it set up in a position before you're actually looking at the enemy. So you have to set it up with your intention of defending an area, as opposed to setting up with your intention of mowing down some guys that you see in the distance. Any assault rifle or even carbine has almost the same kind of accuracy from a standing position, so they can react to you much faster while you're trying to set up a bipod. So in essence, to be most effective with the bipod, you really do need to play more of a campy game style, so rush defense is the only place that I've found it to be useful, and even within that realm, there's only certain areas on rush defense that I find it to be particularly useful. For example, the first MCOM on Operation Metro is very open. If they have snipers on the attacking team, you're going to set up that bipod, look for some opponents, and probably just get sniped in the head before you can even get a kill. Now, in terms of actually mounting a bipod on an LMG, I think the M240B is the way to go. The M240B has the highest rate of fire for the heavy hitting machine guns, and when I say heavy hitting, I mean the ones that do 34 maximum damage. There's a whole range of machine guns. In fact, almost every machine gun does 25 maximum damage except for the PKP, the M240B, and the M60. Now, the important thing about that 34 maximum damage is that it's a 3-hit kill in close quarters, and even at longer ranges, you can still maintain a 4-hit kill at a pretty long distance. So putting a bipod on this thing is great because just giving a gun with such amazing stopping power, that kind of accuracy, turns it into a very lethal weapon. It's just very hard to find those areas where it's going to be most effective. Okay, so let's get back to the specific loadout chosen here. Love the M240B. I think it's a great machine gun. In terms of the scope, I understand wanting a more magnified scope. It allows you a little bit more versatility at range, I guess, if you really want to put a lot of shots down target. I absolutely hate the M145 scope, which is the 3.4x scope, not because of its magnification, but if you compare it to the PKA 3.4x scope, the PKA gives you the exact same circle center in the middle of the screen, the same size, but it takes up far less size around it. So you can actually see guys to your left and right outside of the scope, where the M145 just takes up a huge amount of screen real estate. It does give you little hatch marks on there for, I guess, distance gauging, but I really didn't find that at all useful. So I would say if you want that 3.4 times magnification, use the PKA. But you guys know me, I like my Cobra, and I also like my hollow scopes also. I would much prefer those on this because even with the bipod, the LMG is not a precision weapon, and I would just prefer that larger field of view that you get from a less magnification scope. Now here's the interesting thing about putting a bipod on the M240B specifically. The M240B has the highest side-to-side recoil out of any machine gun out there, meaning that a foregrip would benefit this machine gun more than any other machine gun. So it's like the poster boy for using a foregrip. If you're going to put a foregrip on any gun, the M240B is a great one to put one on. Now, of course, the bipod cancels out that side-to-side recoil, at least the extremities of it, once you use the bipod. But the thing is, you're not going to be using that bipod except for like maybe 5% of all the firefight situations that you're in. All the rest you're going to be standing or crouching, or maybe you even need to go prone just real quick and take a few shots and then keep moving. In those situations, the foregrip is going to be much better. So here's how I would change the M240B. Extended mags is great. Having 200 rounds as opposed to 100 rounds is just perfect for a machine gun. You really want to take advantage of just how many rounds this thing can hold and never having to reload. You never have to worry about somebody jumping around the corner and shooting you while you're reloading. Now if you are going to reload, you want to of course take some cover because it's a good 6-second plus reload time for the M240B. But I would put a Cobra or a hollow sight on here, get rid of the bipod and put a foregrip. You still have a gun that's very useful for defending targets, especially if you go prone, you get much better accuracy, but you can stay mobile a little bit better. You have a ton of ammo, and you can just be a little bit more versatile. Now, I'm always talking about versatility, and you're saying, Level Cap, use a gun that is less run and gun and more of a different style of play. Well, this style of play can be interesting, but I think it's just not as effective. You know, I use a style of play that I think is the most effective. That's what my channel is about, is trying to make people better players. I think if you're using the bipod, you can defend very specific situations well, but ultimately, if you can figure out how to defend those situations just as well without using a bipod, you're going to be a much stronger player, much more versatile player. So I'm not afraid to use the bipod, but ultimately I think it sort of locks you into a play style that's going to be less effective than somebody that has a little bit more mobility. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Loadout. Remember to leave your comments letting me know what kind of weapon setup you'd like me to run with for next episode. Rate the video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. This is LevelCap, signing off.